Yo, what's up, guys? It's Ruben from ERocks.com, and today we are checking in with comedian, actor, total badass, Jason Weems. How are you, Jason?
What's up, guys? I'm blessed. How y'all doing? I'm doing fantastic.
Just trying to keep up with this whole quarantine and stay at home, and I'm pretty sure you're tired of it. I'm tired of it. Everyone's tired of it, but
everybody's burnt out, man. I got 3 little kids. They're exhausted. I mean, I've been in the house with 2 6-year-olds and an 8-year-old since March 12th. Keep on doing it. Don't even stop. Just keep. And it's hard on everybody. It's hard on the parents. It's hard on the kids. It's hard on people who may not live with other people, who will feel isolated. It's hard on everybody, man. So I'm just praying for the world right now.
It's crazy. I mean, how has life changed during quarantine? I mean, you said you have kids. Has it?
Right. It shifted completely. I mean, I'm a stand-up comic, so I mean, you know, I work at night, and you know, my gigs are all predicated on live performances. So you got to have people in the clubs and sitting in the crowd to make the money. So I mean, the Rona completely wiped out my entire schedule. You know, so I mean, artists are just hurting right now. But you know, I'm blessed to somehow have finagled a comedy special to be dropping in the middle of a pandemic. So I count it all joy.
So speaking of comedy shows, I'm like, how do you think this is gonna affect once all of this is over with? Like, we have a cure, or like if we don't have a vaccine or anything. I'm like, how do you think shows will be affected? Like when people come in.
The landscape. It's weird. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of different hybrids right now from clubs. Some people are doing, you know, the tables really far apart. Some people are doing outside, you know, venues where like people are performing on the backs of pickup trucks and all types of stuff. So people are sitting further back. I don't know. I mean, long term, I think it could be detrimental. I mean, comedy is such a personal thing, you know. I don't want to do stand up with people with masks on. You know, I mean, seeing an audience's smile is very important to a performer, to know if you're connecting, to know, you know, how your material is being received. So I hope that it looks promising right now, you know, with the way that, you know, people aren't wearing masks and everything else. I honestly don't know how it's going to shake out altogether, but it's something that I would hate to see, you know, die. It's not the same. Even people do Zoom shows now and they do online stuff, but it just doesn't translate the same. It's not the same. When you're in a physical comedy club or, you know, a venue, you can almost feel the, you know, the energy. It's almost, you know, to the point where you can touch it. You know, laughter creates, you know, energy. And when all the energy is combined, you know, it's something that can't be recreated on a computer.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like here in LA, they've been doing drive-in concerts and like comedy shows. Have you ever do something like that? Have you given the opportunity?
I'm very leery of performing in, even if it's outdoors, even if it's for my personal comfort. I'm not at a space where I'm ready to perform back, at least in that sense. I'm trying to redirect some of my creativity in other pursuits. But, you know, I've seen some comics, you know, some of my friends have actually done, you know, a live show maybe like 2 weeks ago. A lot of people say they feel extremely rusty because, you know, you haven't been performing for 4 months and 5 months. And the way that you used to tell a joke, you don't quite remember that cadence anymore. Or what used to be funny to you pre-coronavirus isn't funny anymore. You know, people's sensibilities have changed quite a bit. You know, the stuff that I was doing pre-coronavirus, you know, feels antiquated to me now. And I think everybody's just in a different headspace. You know, this thing has really been traumatizing, I think, to a lot of folks. And I think we're still going to be seeing effects of this well after, you know, this is hopefully under control.
So speaking of jokes and trying, you're trying to like it's like, I guess like it's trying to make something funny out of a terrible situation, but it's not really like funny. But like, let's talk about your brand new comedy special. It's gonna be an hour long. Yeah. It's available in August, right?
It's available, yeah, next Tuesday, August 4th. Drops on Amazon Prime, so a lot of folks should be able to access that. You know, go in on Amazon, pull it up. It's a special that we shot at the end of, we actually shot at the end of 2018. And then my father had a heart attack and had to have quadruple bypass surgery. So we went from about to go entering to post-production to me putting everything on pause and, you know, tending to my family. So we didn't get it edited completely until probably the end of last summer. And by the time it got pitched and everything and was out circulating, then the Rona hit. So it was like every time, you know, we got close to, you know, pulling it into the final space, some other obstacle appeared. But I feel, I mean, to have a special coming out in the middle of a pandemic is something that's pretty special. And it was a completely self-produced project. Self-produced, all Black creatives worked on the project, from the film crew to the people who did the cover art to, you know, from, you know, start to finish. It was an amazing, you know, display of, everybody was from Baltimore, Maryland. So it's a display of all of the talent that's here in the city. And the title of the special is Unknown. And that comes from, like you said, you know, comics, what we tend to do, I think, you know, what we are kind of charged with, you try to take those messy situations in life, those hurtful spots, the pain, the tragedy, and try to, you know, make some good from it. And I actually literally died, no heartbeat for 5 minutes, at a comedy show in Philly back in 2017. And I've had asthma my entire life, always struggled with it. Had a bad reaction to, the doctors feel like it was some wine that I drank right before I went on stage. And there was some sulfites that reacted with my body. So literally I coded in the venue, no heartbeat, no pulse. From what people told me, you know, all color left my face and my body. By the grace of God, there was a doctor in the crowd who kept me alive.
There is.
Amen, yeah. Shout out to the essential workers.
Yes.
Amen. And she was able to, you know, just do chest compressions long enough until the medics came. You know, woke up in a Philadelphia hospital 16 hours later, but they had me labeled as unknown. So it was a lot of mix up. My wife, when she was trying to find me, they kept telling her that I wasn't there. And she's like, you know, I know my husband's there. And I just got information that he had a bad accident. And they're like, man, there's nobody by the name of Jason Weems here. So she's freaking out. And granted, we live in Baltimore, so that's 2 hours from Philly. So she's driving to Philly, not knowing what's happened to me, if I'm dead, if I'm dying, like what the situation is. But they had me listed as unknown for whatever reason. They had my wallet, but they had me listed as unknown. Like, look in the wallet.
Common sense, hello.
That's right, yeah. Just do this. Just open the wallet and your mystery will be solved. So, like I said, with the part of, you know, comics taking those hurtful parts, what's more hurtful and more traumatizing than dying? So, I mean, literally, when I woke up in the hospital, one of the first things I did was start writing jokes about it. I mean, I was still literally in the hospital gown. I still had a tube in my throat because they had me on a ventilator. So when I coded, the heart wasn't coming back strong enough. They had the machine breathing for me. I was in hand restraints because I woke up in the hospital and freaked out because I didn't know where I was. And I think I actually hit a nurse. So whoever that was, I apologize. I was disoriented. But I was in hand restraint. So it was a real scary situation to kind of come up to wake up to. But I started, you know, thinking about the bright spots of it. And over that next year from, you know, May 2017 up until December of 2018, you you know, I kind of formed the special, you know, kind of really picked apart, you know, because it actually took me I was going through therapy. I had to, you know, reconstruct a lot of the night through third-party accounts because, you know, once I dropped, I didn't know what happened. So it's, you know, what other comics told me. Oh, when you collapsed, then the ambulance came, then this happened. So I took all of that, and I think I formed it in a way that's it's inspirational. I hope it's exciting, it's hilarious, and as much as it's a comedy special, it's also a testimony. It's a celebration of life. It's you know, I could not be here. You know, my wife could be a widow now. My kids could be, you know, fatherless. So to have a special coming out on Amazon is like a stamp. Like, I'm here, I survived, I made it, and I'm thankful. It's a blessing. It truly is.
Most definitely. And your comedy special will be available on Amazon Prime on Tuesday, August 4th. It's called Unknown. It's Weems. I am Ruben Perez, entertainmentrocks.com. Before we leave, can we talk about a little bit of future projects? You said you were working on some future stuff. Can we get a little teaser of maybe what we can expect?
So if things go well, I have a sitcom that has actually, I've been pitching it for a while now, and have gotten a lot of good feedback and good meetings. Obviously with the Rona, it paused a lot of momentum. So in areas where you may have been, you know, taking meetings and about to fly out to someplace, when everything kind of came to a halt. But fingers crossed, after the special drops, I'm hoping this opens up some more pipelines, and that sitcom, hopefully that'll be coming down the pike soon. It's based on my time when I was a teacher. I taught kindergarten in Baltimore City Public Schools for 10 years.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Kids are crazy.
Right.
They are crazy.
Yeah. So a lot of my early stand-up was influenced by those kids and the things that our interactions at school, the crazy stuff that they would say to me. So the show kind of surrounds that and a lot of other interesting topics. So that's something I'm excited about that I think has some real good legs right now. I'm always developing another hour, so be on the lookout for another special. Hopefully a couple of months after this one gets out, give people some time to digest this one. And then, got a podcast that's coming that's in the works. That was actually supposed to drop this spring, but then the damn Rona showed up, and and I've been with my kids in the house for 5 months. And but yeah, so a lot of things. I've got some books that I've been working on, a greeting card line, a lot of different projects that are, you know, close to the finish line. Absolutely. So
crazy right now.
Yeah. Oh, I also have a really cool sketch show. If anybody likes to just, you know, if you're a fan of In Living Color or Saturday Night Live, me and two of my buddies from here in Baltimore, a couple of years back, started a show called The Lunchtime Show. And we used to work together at the school where I taught kindergarten. One of my buddies was the gym teacher and the other guy was the computer teacher. And every day we would have lunch and we would have these crazy stories that we'd be sharing. So we ended up shooting those stories and making sketches. So it's a really funny show. If you go to thelunchtimeshow.com, there's some interesting stuff that people can laugh at and, you know, have a good time.
For sure. My name is Ruben. That is Jason Weems, actor, comedian, producer, podcaster, anything and everything. You can have it all. Be sure to watch his comedy special on Amazon Prime. It's called Unknown. It's available August 4th. I'm Ruben. We will see you guys. And don't forget, wash your hands, wear a mask. Like I say this in every single video. Like, it's common sense. Like,
do what he says. Right.
Just do it. Bye.
Wash your hands. Thanks, guys.
Exactly. Bye.